At 15:30 hours, 15 December, OB Vest gave the order to start Intername and Hertznavel on 16 December. The objective of the attack is the encirclement of the 21st English Army Group and the 9th and 1st American Armies by a quick assault on Antwerp, and to destroy them in cooperation with our forces attacking south from Holland. The prerequisite for the success of this operation is to surprise the enemy, which requires secrecy, speed, mobility. Forward, without looking right or left, across the mirrors towards Antwerp, ruthless and rapid penetration. Corps infantry will break through the enemy front line by 0700 hours. The decision to commit the Panzer Divisions to exploit the breakthrough will be decided by the commanders of the 6th Panzer Army and Heer's Group of B as the attack develops. 12th SS will advance along Rollbahn Anton, Bertha, and Caesar. 1st SS will advance along Rollbahn, Dora, and Immel. The Meuse River will be reached in 1 to 2 days and establish bridgeheads. The 6th Panzer Army's 2 bridge columns will follow the Corps. After the Panzer Divisions pass through the breach, the infantry will follow up and turn north to form a defensive front, protecting the Corps' right flank. 2nd SS Panzer Corps will pass through and drive to Antwerp in another 5 days. 277 Volksgrenadier Division objectives open Rollbahn, Anton, Bertha, and Caesar. 12th Volksgrenadier Division objectives open Rollbahn, Dora. Division engineers to replace the Scheid Railroad Bridge and the one north of Losheim destroyed by our forces in September. 3rd Volksgrenadier Division objectives open Rollbahn, Immel. After 1st SS and 12th SS Panzer Divisions pass through the breach, 3rd Volksgrenadier Division, 277th Volksgrenadier Division, and 12th Volksgrenadier Division will turn north and defend the Corps' flank, tying in with 67th Army Corps. 1st SS Panzer Division assembly areas are around Blankenheim. 12th SS assembly areas are east of Hollenfeld. Each division organized into a Panzer Group, 2 Kampfgruppen, a Schnellgruppe, and division troops. The attack plan specified 4 fuel consumption units with the troops, with 1 additional delivered each day. Since 2 train loads have not arrived, 1st SS Panzer Corps has half a consumption unit, good with 30 to 35 kilometers in the Ardennes terrain, on hand. 6th Panzer Army transferred 2nd SS Panzer Corps' fuel to me, increasing fuel on hand to 1.3 units, good for 60 to 70 kilometers. There are 10 fuel units in dumps east of the Rhine River, but the number of trains and trucks available cannot deliver it. To make up for the shortage, information on known enemy fuel dumps was issued. The Corps has 1 ammunition unit, good for 4 to 5 days, instead of the 2 planned. Again, it is in dumps east of the Rhine River. A single inexperienced infantry division and 2 reconnaissance battalions occupy the enemy front line. The entrance to Rollbahn, Anton, and Bertha is the winding Schwarzenbruch gravel-covered logging trail from the International Highway west of Hollenrath to Rocherath. Rollbahn Caesar west of Udenbruch to Murigen is the same. Rollbahn, Dora, and Immel have decent roads to start with. Since my request to Army to shift the Corps attacks sector south to better terrain is denied, I asked for a release of the Panzer Division to achieve breakthroughs, but this is denied.
From 3 to 14 December, the RAF attacked the Schramm, Manuel, Erft, and Paulushof dams on the Rohr River 7 times. 3 missions were canceled because of weather and heavy cloud cover, limiting bombing to H-2S radar. 886 aircraft dropped 1,862 tons of bombs, resulting in just 21 ineffective hits. 5th Corps is ordered to capture the dams so 9th Army to the north can cross the Rohr River without being caught in floods caused by the Germans releasing the water. 2nd Infantry Division handed over its frontline sector to the 106th Infantry Division and withdrew to an assembly area in Camp Elsenborn on 10 December to prepare for the attack. 2nd ID axis of attack is Rocherath, Walscheid, Crossroads, Dearborn, the dams. 78th Infantry Division will attack simultaneously through Vosnach, Schmidt-Ruhr Reservoir. After dawn on 13 December, 1st and 2nd Battalion's 9th Infantry Regiment stepped off in 6 inches of snow, with the temperature warming. 99th Infantry Division's 2nd of the 395th, 1st of the 395th, and 2nd of the 393rd attacked parallel on the right. The advance reached the Walscheid crossroads, where German bunkers stopped the advance. After dark, the lead elements pulled back slightly and dug in. After dusk, on 15 December, 9th Infantry Regiment infiltrated the German position and captured the bunker line. My 38th Infantry Regiment was ordered forward to exploit the breakthrough.
At 05:35 hours 16 December, 2 artillery corps, 2 rocket brigades, and all division artillery started the barrage, aimed at knocking out enemy communications. Temperatures were about freezing, ground fog limited visibility, and there were occasional snow flurries. The ground was thick, sticky mud. In the 277th Volksgrenadier Division sector, the 989th Grenadier Regiment's single battalion, reinforced with an engineer company and Jagdpanzers, attacked along the Schwarzenbruch Trail, got 2 kilometers of the 7 kilometers to Rocherath before being stopped. 990th Grenadier Regiment, reinforced with a Fusilier company of engineers, and 4 Jagdpanzers, attacked from Udenbrecht-Neuhof area toward Mürgen, pushed the enemy 300 meters before being stopped. 991st Grenadier Regiment was sent in to get the attack on Mürgen moving without result. The thick forest made coordination of both squads difficult, and fighting degenerated into a brawl. Artillery fire from both sides was indiscriminately inflicting casualties. After dawn, the snow changed to sleet and rain. My 1st and 2nd Battalions passed through the 9th Infantry Regiment, heading for the east edge of Moschau Forest. Just after 1200, after advancing 1,000 yards, the division ordered a halt. The attack will resume 17 December when ordered by the division commander. About noon, 6th Panzer Army authorized the use of the Panzer Divisions to break through. I attached 1st Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment, reinforced with pack, pioneer, flak, and heavy infantry guns, to the 277th Volksgrenadier Division to enlarge the breach along Rollbahn, Anton, and Bertha. The unit advanced along the Schwarzenbruch Trail without the pack and heavy infantry guns, since the ramps over the west wall obstacles were not in place. Towed weapons and vehicles were quickly stuck in the mud. The battalion got within 2,000 meters of Krinkelt, encountering only small numbers of the enemy, but was under heavy artillery fire. The battalion went over to defense since it still had no contact with the 277th Volksgrenadier. The 12th Volksgrenadier Division attack failed to take Lochheimgraben and Buchholz. More importantly, the Scheid Railroad Bridge had not been replaced. 3rd Volksgrenadier Division took all objectives by dusk, opening Rollbahn Emily. I ordered Panzer Group Piper, sitting in Lochheim, to head for Lanzerhof, bypassing Lochheimgraben, and get back on Rollbahn Dora at Bulge. There are 4 options to open Rollbahn Caesar for Panzer Group Kuhlmann. One is 277th continuing to attack Rocherath. Second, 277th continuing to attack Mürgen. Third, 277th attacks Rocherath, while 12th attacks north to Hunningen. Fourth, send the 12th SS to Lochheimgraben. Third option was the most promising. 277th Volksgrenadier moved 990th Grenadier Regiment up behind the 989th to reinforce the attack. 277th casualties were heavy, including 9 company commanders of the 12 assault companies. To reinforce the division, I attached the rest of Kampfgruppe Müller from the 12th SS. 1st Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment had not been able to establish contact with the 277th Volksgrenadier Division, and with the enemy probing the unit's open flanks during the night, the battalion withdrew from contact. Just before dawn on the 17th, the 12th Volksgrenadier resumed the attack on Lochheimgraben. 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment, with Jagdpanzer IVs and Pioneers, attacked west along the logging trail from Udenbruch. The 560th Schwer Panzerjäger carrying 3rd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment, moved in behind the 989th Grenadier Regiment to reinforce the attack, but the muddy terrain made maneuver impossible, so the 560th and Grenadiers withdrew. Division ordered to withdraw from Walscheid. 9th Infantry Regiment will withdraw, to be followed by my 38th Infantry Regiment. The 9th is to dig in around Würzfield. The 38th is to defend Rocherath and Krinkelt. At 0800, I ordered the still advancing 3rd Battalion to head back to Krinkelt and dig in on the east and southeast edges of town. The battalion ran back to Krinkelt.
Along the way, German artillery hit the column, and it was strafed by the Luftwaffe, a new and unsettling experience. 3rd Battalion is digging in under German artillery fire. Assistant 2nd Infantry Division Commander General Stokes assigned control of all tanks and tank destroyers from Krinkelt to 3rd Battalion. By 12:30, every road had a M4 or M10 in an alley or next to a building, able to flank shoot any German tank that entered from the east or south. At 15:30, 1st Battalion started to withdraw to Rocherath. Once the 9th and 38th are in position, all elements of the 99th Infantry Division south of Krinkelt will withdraw north and dig in on the Elsenborn Ridge. Then we will withdraw to Elsenborn. With only 2 roads available, the speed the 99th can move is limited.
By early afternoon, 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Regiment has pushed through the enemy position in the woods. 12th Volksgrenadier Division took Losheim-Graben. The railroad bridge to Losheim has not been replaced, so the road is now usable.
The division commander at Bracken Crossroads rerouted 1st Battalion of 9th Infantry Regiment to Lonsdale Crossroads to defend east of Twin Villages while the rest of the division withdraws. I report the withdrawal of the 38th is going as planned. 2nd Infantry Division directs 395th Infantry Regiment to dig in north and northeast of Rocherath. The executive officer, Lieutenant Colonel Morris, met 1st Battalion of 38th on the road to pass along orders to occupy northeast and east side of Rocherath. The 3rd Battalion on the right and 2nd Battalion on the left. Troops may have to fight for the ground to be occupied. The battalion suffered heavy losses passing through enemy artillery fire before Bracken.
Ground fog limits visibility to 100 meters. Late in the afternoon, the 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Regiment advanced ran into a second enemy position in the woods. The initial attack failed, and the Grenadiers start to flank north. At 17:30, Jagdpanzers arrived, started firing at the enemy positions, making them break and run. It is dark and blowing snow when the battalion exited the woods at Rutenven. In the dark, the lead 4 Jagdpanzers of the 1st Company, 12th SS Panzer Jägerabteilung, with Grenadiers go left, while the following elements of 1st Company go right. 12th Volksgrenadier with its Sturmgeschütz attack the enemy south and southeast of Hunningen.
Our forces are dug in. The air is filled with a cold fog, and a foot of snow covered the area of muddy ground. Every company sent a few riflemen east as outposts. 7 artillery battalions plus infantry regiment cannon companies support the defense. I am assigned to command of all forces in the Twin Villages and 1st Battalion, 9th Infantry Regiment.
About 1900, the 4 1st Company Jagdpanzers and platoon of SS Grenadiers that turned left entered Rocherath, reached the church, and dug in for the night. The other 1st Company Jagdpanzers and SS Grenadiers that turned right traded fire with an enemy infantry unit they had just passed through well before the towns and continued on to Rocherath. The force entering the edge of the town before realizing it was inside the enemy position. After losing 2 vehicles, the Jagdpanzers and Grenadiers withdrew and swung north to bypass the enemy. 6 Jagdpanzers drove into the northeast side of Rocherath, but lacking Grenadier support withdrew east. 2nd and the 25th dug in for the night just east of the enemy position, while the Jagdpanzers withdrew to refuel and load ammunition. Flare pistols and the Jagdpanzers' headlights were used to illuminate the enemy.
There is heavy fighting east of the Twin Villages. 1st of the 38th reported the service company roadblock lost. One of the anti-tank company's 57mm guns lost. Baker Company scattered, and Charlie Company hit by German penetration up to the church. The 644th lost an M10 and 2 M20 armored cars. The 741st lost 3 M4s in the fight. 1 to a German tank destroyer at 10 yards range near the church. 3rd of the 38th in Krinkelt reported spotting tanks and troops approaching from the south, but held fire to ensure these were not part of the 99th Infantry Division withdrawing. When the formation entered K Company position, they were recognized as Germans. After losing 2 tanks, most of the Germans withdrew. Those who stayed were killed or captured. The fighting ended at 23:15 hours. The German tanks used floodlights to illuminate and blind our troops during the fighting.
1st SS Panzer Division is outside of Stavlo, well on the way to the Meuse. 12th SS must get through the enemy front line. The westward routes from the Hollenrath-Udenbrecht area are mud trails. The only decent roads are Hollenthal, Hollerath, Losheim-Graben, and Halschlag-Losheim-Hunningen. At first light, the 990th Grenadier Regiment of the 277th Volksgrenadier Division will attack west across the Rocherath-Wallerscheid Road to protect 12th SS north flank. 12th SS Panzer Regiment 1st Company, the Panthers, followed by the 3rd Company Panthers, Stab, and 5th Company Panzer IVs and 6th Company Panzer IVs, the 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment will attack the east edge of Rocherath. 1st and 3rd Battalions of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment with 12th SS Panzerjägerabteilung will attack the south side of Rocherath. 12th SS Panzeraufklärungsabteilung will attack Krinkelt from the south. The rest of Panzergruppe Kuhlmann and Kampfgruppe Kraus be in march formation on Rollbahn C, prepared to advance as soon as Hunningen and Mürgen are cleared. The 12th SS final objective is Elsenborn. 12th Volksgrenadier Division will take Hunningen, Mürgen, advance toward Bulligen, Würzfield, and Buchenbach. 3rd Fallschirmjäger advance to Fahmenville.
At 0200, 18 December, I send to division. 3rd Battalion holding steady. 1st Battalion badly disorganized, organizing the local defense at command post. Enemy infiltrated with tanks and infantry on the east part of Rocherath. Traffic jammed on the road. We'll put in through Würzfeld when the road clears. Action quieting. Believe we can hold. At 0500, 1st of the 9th sent me. We have been strenuously engaged, have knocked out 3 tanks. Others have infiltrated my position. Have situation in hand at present. As soon as 2nd of the 38th completes moving into position, I will order 1st of the 9th to withdraw.
Dense fog blanketed the area. By dawn, 277th Volksgrenadier Division and 12th SS Panzer Regiment arrived at Ruppenven. The Jagdpanzers and Grenadiers around the Rocherath Church, out of radio contact, short on ammo and fuel, withdrew to a more defensible position 300 meters east of the town after dawn. They waved at the advancing panzers to identify themselves, then withdrew to the forest to avoid being caught in the attack, resupply, and rest.
In the thick fog, German tanks drove through 1st of the 9th, but the German infantry were stopped. When the thick fog lifted between 0800 and 0830, the 1st of the 9th front line was overrun and called for artillery on its position. 30 minutes of artillery stopped the German advance. 5 German tanks with infantry riding on 3 entered Rocherath and reached my command post. Fire from Charlie Company's 644th Tank Destroyer Battalion, Headquarters Company, Able 741st Tank Battalion, and Able Company 38th got 4 of the tanks in the infantry. Another group of 8 German tanks with infantry aboard raced into Rocherath through the anti-tank company position and stopped just before the main road. Recon 644th Tank Destroyer Battalion knocked out all the tanks. At 1000, I told 1st of the 9th to withdraw at 1300. Without additional support, 1st of the 9th cannot move. At 11:15, all artillery fired in front of the 1st of the 9th for 30 minutes. Then a tank platoon of Able Company 741st attacked to allow the withdrawal to start, and still the Germans followed right behind.
1st Battalion of the 12th SS Panzer Regiment entered Rocherath and reached the Würzfeld Road intersection. 1st and 2nd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment got into the edge of the town. Enemy artillery fire pinned down the 3rd Battalion in the forest. 12th Volksgrenadier took Hunningen, found Mürgen empty, occupied Bulligen, then stopped, fearing an exposed open flank facing the twin villages. 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division was north of Heppenbach. Leibstand Adolf Hitler has taken Recht, Stablo, and reached Stomat.
1st of the 9th, with 144 left of the original 600 men, withdrew through 2nd of the 38th. Both the sides' artillery hit in and around the twin villages. With so many Germans in Rocherath, I moved my command post to the south side of Krinkelt. M10 C-15 rammed a Panther since it could not bring its gun to bear fast enough. The M10 was disabled, but the Panther drove off. Company Charlie beat off a German attack of 11 tanks and infantry. A machine gun squad from Company H saved Company F, from being overrun by 2 German infantry companies of tanks. Artillery fire on the front edge of the 38th Anti-Tank Company's position stopped an attack by 20 German tanks and a battalion of infantry. 1 German tank raised a white flag, picked up wounded, and withdrew. Buildings changed hands so frequently some GIs were captured and freed or escaped multiple times.
12th SS Panzer Regiment and 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment hold about half of Rocherath. The 560th Schwerer Panzerjäger was ordered into town to reinforce the attack. The main body of 12th SS, struggling along the roads LEH has turned into a sea of mud, reached Bulge after dark.
With the last elements of the 99th withdrawn and strong German forces on both sides of the twin villages, 5th Corps orders the twin villages in Würzfeld abandoned. The fighting in the dark was total confusion, but we had 2 advantages. We are defending from fixed covered positions, and our artillery fired a curtain around us. The Germans are moving and in the open. German artillery fire continued to hit in varying intensity all night.
After a slow march through the woods, the 560th reached Ruppenven at dusk. Under heavy enemy artillery and anti-tank fire, the Jagdpanzer spread out to cross the 1,000 meters of open ground. In the dark, the 560th entered Rocherath, advancing through the narrow streets, returning fire when shot at. Not being in contact with anyone, with no information on the situation, the radio net flooded with American communications bleeding through because of the extremely short distances. With German artillery fire falling on them, the unit withdrew back to the forest. Enemy artillery still has 3rd Battalion of the 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment pinned down in the woods.
By dawn, 19 December, dense fog covered the ground. At 0900, German infantry that occupied another house in Rocherath was fired at by Company Charlie, 644th M10, injuring most of them. A German tank with infantry that moved up to Company Charlie command post was engaged by my troops. The command post had to move when the house was set aflame by German return fire. German artillery fire was nearly constant.
6th Panzer Army ordered 12th SS to assemble in the Bulge area as soon as possible and advance on Rollbahn Dora to Malmedy and switch back to Caesar. 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment and 12th SS Panzer Regiment will follow as soon as the Twin Village sector is handed over to the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division. 12th SS is 40 kilometers behind 1st SS Panzer Division instead of being alongside to provide flank protection. I called Army and told them the road nets in the Bulligan, Moderschad, Schopen, and the Losham areas are an impassable mire of 4 feet deep mud from Panzer Group Piper's use. I asked permission to attack once more with 12th SS and 12th Volksgrenadier to clear the road to Bulligan, and Army agreed. 1st SS Panzer Battalion Commander Jurgensen ordered his tank crews back into the villages to defend the immobilized tanks until they could be recovered.
I got the order to withdraw from the twin villages starting at 1730 and occupied defensive positions west and northwest of Würzfeld. The defenders of Würzfeld will then withdraw through the 38th. The rear guard will be composed of the 741st Tank Battalion, 3rd Platoon, Company Charlie 644th Tank Destroyer Battalion, and Company Charlie 2nd Engineer Battalion at the Krinkelt Würzfeld Road Junction. Covered by mass artillery fire, 2nd Battalion of the 38th pulled out first. 1st Battalion was next, and 3rd Battalion last. The Germans followed closely and stepped up their artillery fire. The last element in Krinkelt are 2 M10s and engineers of the rear guard. A column of 12 Panthers approaching Krinkelt from the north, firing into every building, was stopped when an M10 knocked out the lead tank with a hyper shot from 75 yards. Artillery fire scattered the others. The engineers laid a daisy chain of mines, jumped on the M10s, who took off for Butenbach via Würzfeld.
North of Rocherath, the 277th Volksgrenadier Division resumed its advance west. 103rd Panzer Battalion and Grenadiers of the 3rd Panzer Grenadier Division moved into Krinkelt from the south and southeast. 12th Volksgrenadier Division advanced on Würzfeld. After dark, 12th SS Panzer Regiment and 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment withdrew east through the mud forest track to the International Highway, south to Loshheimgraben, and then to Bulligan. Enemy artillery was impressive and terrifying. The artillery stopped the main part of 25th SS Panzer Grenadier Regiment from getting into the twin villages to support the Panzers on the 18th, causing the attack to fail. In addition to the tanks totally destroyed, many were disabled, requiring recovery and repair at the 12th SS Panzer Division's repair center set up at Locherath.
The 84 guns and the 7 artillery battalions was the key to the successful defense. The time on target missions were especially effective in stopping the Germans. The infantry regiment, anti-tank companies, and battalion anti-tank platoons 57mm guns should be abolished because they proved impossible to manhandle in the mud. They were largely ineffective against German tanks, and one well-placed shot destroyed it. The 2.36-inch bazooka proved an effective weapon in the hands of determined troops at the short ranges inside the twin villages. American soldiers claimed 111 tanks, assault guns, and armored vehicles destroyed. The German advance was delayed, allowing defense to be set up on Elsenborn Ridge, where 6th Panzer Army's advance was stopped and made it possible to stop Piper's breakthrough.